Does God know the future? A contingency of Christianity, namely open theists, are currently communicating that God does not have perfect knowledge of the future. So how do we respond to this crisis within Christianity? And it is indeed a crisis. First, we respond in saying that from the beginning to the end, the Bible teaches the omniscience of God. In the words of Isaiah, God knows the end from the beginning. And as such, God's knowledge is exhaustive. And that includes even those things that are yet future. Furthermore, if God's knowledge of the future is fallible, biblical predictions that depend on human agency might well have turned out wrong. Then even Jesus' predictions in the Olivet Discourse could have failed and thus would have undermined his claim to deity. God himself could have failed the biblical test of a prophet. Indeed, if God's knowledge of the future is incomplete, we would be foolish to trust him to answer our prayers, thus negating the confidence we have in approaching God that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us whatever we ask, we know that we have what we have asked of him. One final point. Open theists suggest that God cannot know the future exhaustively because he changes his plans as a result of what people do. In reality, however, it is not God who changes, but people who change in relationship to God. By way of analogy, if you walk into a headwind, you struggle against the wind. If you make a U-turn on the road, the wind is now at your back. It is not the wind that has changed, but you have changed in relationship to the wind. As such, God's plan to destroy Nineveh was not aborted because he did not know the future. Instead, God did not destroy the Ninevites because they who had walked in opposition to God turned from walking in their wicked ways. Indeed, all of God's promises to bless or to judge must be understood in light of the condition that God withholds blessing when we disobey and withholds judgment when we repent.